Hey, everybody, and welcome to the newest, coolest, trendiest new podcast show on the block. Yeah! My name's Maria Womack.
My name's Javan Irving.
If you had to describe me to somebody that has never heard of me, what would you say? This is what I'd say about you if I had to introduce you. Javan Irving is a very multi-talented man, I have to say. I'm putting you on the spot. I know you don't like it when people compliment you, but it's true. He is very talented in music, being a musician. He is very musically minded, which I very much admire about him. He is a technology wizard in my head. I mean, he knows how to work a camera. He knows how to work a computer. I'm personally am impressed by that myself. I can't really do that stuff. So I'd like to recognize you for that. He also is the leader of Little Room in Florida. If you've never heard about that, check that out. He is a AV god, a music god. He's very smart, and he's very cool. He's very well read as well. You are.
I disagree.
I know, because you just don't like hearing stuff like that. But I do think of you in that way.
I'm okay at stuff.
I think of you in that way for sure. I may have exaggerated. I shouldn't have said music god. That was a little dramatic. But I do think that you are very talented, musically minded.
I'm barely a musician.
I don't think that at all.
But it's okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think if you're a musician, that you're like a musician for life. Even if you're not like playing all the time, it doesn't mean that you're not a musician anymore. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I consider myself more of a songwriter than a musician, just because I don't think I play any instrument particularly well, but I like writing out music. I think that's true of most songwriters. They're usually pretty shitty musicians in general, but they know how to mix melody and lyrics. So I guess that's the important part.
Yeah, you could do that. Is a songwriter not a musician though?
No, they can be both. It's just I find that songwriters aren't very good at playing. Like they know like maybe 3-4 chords, enough to get a melody together and some words. I think they're better lyricists than they are music writers. I don't know. I do like a lot of like songwriter festivals down here, and I constantly had to do sound for these musicians that write like really huge hit songs, but they're just god awful at playing guitar and singing. All of it, they're just bad. But
you're a good singer. I think that you're a good singer.
I'm okay at singing. I know how to sing around my limits, but I could never like step up and like start doing like karaoke of any song. But I can sing stuff that's like I guess in my range, as you'd say. But that's like kind of saying too much. I know what I can do.
Karaoke that's though, like is that the standard?
I'm just saying like I don't have like a wide range of things that I could do. Like I mean, there are people that like can like you give them a song and they'll just step up and like just nail it. Nowhere near that, or people that can at least ballpark stuff. I don't think I could do that.
I think you're a good performer though when you are performing. Whenever you are a frontman or you are doing vocals for something, that you're very good. You're just like blind though, so we'll let that go.
I try.
So how would you describe me?
You are very ambitious and you're a sweet girl. I don't really have ever seen you be particularly mean to anyone in my life.
Okay, that's good that you haven't seen it. I'm just kidding.
You work as a hairstylist. You're great at hair, but other things artistically, I think too. You're a good writer. I don't know. You're my
Thank
best
you.
friend. You're just
That's so
easy to be around.
I'm a fun girl.
Yeah, sure. But not even like I think fun girl has kind of a negative connotation as someone that's maybe like puts having a good time above like priorities. And I think that you can be like a pretty realistic person. And I don't know. I don't think you let anything go too over the top.
Thanks.
You're pretty grounded.
That's nice.
Like I wouldn't see you going on like a bender and a weekend in like New Orleans or something. Not to say that you couldn't like go out and party. Like you have fun with your friends, but I think you know when to say the party's over and how to keep things in perspective. Maybe
Do
better
I?
than some people that like you hang out with.
Yeah, I guess that could be true. I don't know though. I always like fear of a time where like things get so bad for me for whatever reason. For example, say like I don't know, something just like traumatic happens to me that it changes me forever, and I all of a sudden just turned into somebody that goes into a bender, and maybe I become like a homeless person.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like they say, we're all like what 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Most
Yeah.
Americans. I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm saying at this point in your life, I mean, probably in your past, you were more wild, but you're like a well-rounded, like person that has priorities.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And you also work as a behavioral therapist, which is pretty interesting and cool.
My new adventure, yeah. I like it.
I think you've always had a natural knack for just talking to people in a therapeutic way.
You think so?
Sure. I think if you went full for it as a therapist, you could probably do it.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know.
One thing though I hate though is school.
Yeah.
I think that holds me back so much that I am just I don't know. It's something I even talk about. Last year I like even put in an application for college. But like not like Harvard or anything, but like your local state
Just going back
college,
to school.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to pay $30 and I didn't even sign up for the classes.
Well, I mean, sometimes you had to try something to decide you don't want to do it.
Yeah. I literally have 2 college classes under my belt, like 4 years ago that I did. And I never went back. And I lied to my parents and said I went longer than I did.
College is dumb anyway. I got an AA and could barely do anything with it anyway.
I admire you for that, though. I think that's very cool.
No,
And
it's a waste of money.
But it's like what you do, though. You are an audio engineer, and like that's what you went to school for.
Yeah, but it took to me almost being 30 to finally get a consistent gig. I mean, that was probably more a location problem than anything, but still.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is. I don't know. I feel there's just not a substantial enough of like reward versus, the amount of money and time you put into school. At least in the case of like my industry, you don't need to go to school. Everything's on YouTube.
You self-teach yourself a lot of stuff.
I mean, like literally everything to do with like AV it's all there on Google and YouTube. You don't need to go to school for that. I mean, I guess it's nice, but even like some places, if you go to certain like audio schools, they won't hire you just because I don't know. I think there's just like a stigma of audio school people because a lot of kids like they don't know what they want to do with their life, but like their parents expect them to go to college and they're like, all right, well, I like music, so I guess I'll try this, or I like the aspects of music, and then they get into it and they don't really care, and then even after they get to school, they don't really get out of school, they don't really pursue it. I don't know. It's like the I don't know what to do with my life, but I had to go to college choice of, I think, this generation. Because before, I think that was like philosophy or like something back in the day that if you didn't know what you wanted to do, you just took like a bullshit major that you were interested in for sure, but it's like not super viable.
That's true. I'm like jealous of everybody though that has degrees of any kind. I have like trade stuff.
Yeah, I think trade school is like becoming more of a respected thing because it's like you don't have to put yourself in crazy debt and you can get jobs that pay well. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I know you deal with a lot of bullshit as a hairstylist, but I feel like it's a good job that you can literally do anywhere in the world.
That's true. When I took a small break, being fed up with it, I did miss it a little bit because I'm just naturally full of style and I want to share it with the world.
Sure.
But that's my dream though, is like different.
Right.
I have different dreams. I want to be an entertainer, a talk show host. I want to be an actress.
Is that the specific talk show host, or would you settle for one or the other? You just want to be in entertainment? Or are you trying to do like the what actress 2 talk show host? What's her name from Scream?
From Scream?
E.T.
Are you talking about
the little girl from E.T.?
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Do the Drew Barrymore
Sorry.
thing.
No offense to Drew Barrymore. I love her as an actress, but she is very annoying as a talk show host. I do not want to be like on that vibe at all.
True.
I mean, it would be fine either or. I think I just want to like, I don't know. There's something like icky about me that like wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Whether it's like acting, and I like acting because like I could like express myself artistically, but like there's someone that tells me exactly what to do. There's something I like about that.
Okay. So you like being just kind of a blank shell rather than personality? Because I mean, talk show host is 100% personality.
At least in the acting part. That's what I like about the acting part. But I wouldn't want that in the talk show host.
Obviously, yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know. I like podcasting too. I like podcasting a lot.
Sure.
I like doing fake therapy a lot. My other podcast that I have, and then the short-lived Brother Family podcast was really fun for a second.
Yeah. I think those are good shows. I mean, I hope you can still keep doing fake therapy.
I know, yeah. I guess that's kind of like it's like one of the reasons why we're like venturing off into a new podcast because like if you've never listened to fake therapy before, it's like this podcast that I was doing where it was very guest driven. I would have a lot of my friends on who, I mean, like a lot of just like normal people. And we would talk about every episode would be a different topic, different theme. We talk about just like stuff that happened to us, stuff on our mind, some controversial topics, I guess, just different life experiences and just bonding on that.
Yeah, but COVID's kind of made it more difficult.
Yeah.
And you're not about the remote.
I am not about the remote, okay?
Guest, I guess, doing it over Skype or Zoom or whatever.
Yeah. I've done that a few times, but I really like the in-person feel of just like, I feel like you connect with people better in person, especially when we're talking about something. I mean, a lot of those topics that I had on that show were like very intimate and very deep and very
heavy.
Very heavy, yeah, exactly. Very heavy topics sometimes. And that's hard to do over a screen for me. I don't know. And then, like, not a lot of people who have a lot of interesting things to say have the means of being able to, like, have a camera and, like, audio accessibilities like we do. So it's just very hard. And I don't know. I'm feeling a little insecure about it. Not like it's, like, totally dead at the moment, but it's very slow. And I feel the need to do something else. And, like, part of me, too, is, like, kind of being hard on myself because I feel like I'm not trying hard enough. At the same time, I think this year is hard for a lot of people, and maybe I should just like chill out.
Yeah. So I mean, we can do something that's more light.
Yeah, I'm craving
fun
something
and something
a
you
little
can
bit
do,
more
I guess,
light.
consistently.
Yeah.
You don't have to rely on a guest. We're just gonna, I guess, sit in front of microphones for an hour on bullshit and see what comes out.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
it should be fun. We'll try to incorporate different segments, but we're going to keep it pretty loose on this one and not so heavy, topical, whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know, too. And I think, like, there's something about, like, the whole pandemic year that's, like, making me kind of sad. And, like, talking about heavy stuff makes me more sad right now. And I just need, like, something more, like, lighthearted.
Yeah, I feel like most people do. So I don't know if a song played when this started. We'll see if we've gotten that far by that point.
We gotta
we
record a
don't
song.
even technically have a name for this yet. So
no.
by now, I would hope that there's a name. So whatever the name ends up being, this is that show. And I hope the song, whatever it was that we created for the intro, is pretty good. Right now, that's all in the future. So I have no idea. It could be hot garbage.
Do you want to hear some potential names that I've been thinking about?
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm like very gung-ho on the name being super important because I want something, I don't know, I want something catchy. I feel like a name is everything.
And not taken.
And not taken. I know. There's a lot of things that, especially for like other podcast ideas that I thought would be really cool. Like I had this other one with my friend that we were in the works of talking about. And I thought of the perfect name and I looked it up and it was taken. But by a podcast that was recorded 2 years ago and they have one episode. Like,
Yeah, there's always that little, I don't know, should I? It happens a lot in bands too. Like you see, like you come up with the perfect band name, you go on Bandcamp, and it's a band already, but they have like one shitty iPhone recording song and they haven't posted anything in 3 years. Do you take the name and just do Bandcamp dot whatever state you're in? Or
that's how they get around it?
Usually, like the band Machinist with an explanation point. There's like 5 machinists. There's a machinist in the UK. There's the Machinist band. There's Machinist, no explanation point, and then there's the Machinist we know that's Machinist explanation point. Seems like a legal minefield, but I mean, I don't know enough about music law.
Okay, well now I know I could keep that in my back pocket, just a little exclamation mark or something.
Sure, yeah.
That's
Just
some
change
good
it
advice.
enough.
Okay.
Right now, our cat is he's trying to
Tearing
find
up my curtain.
he's trying to find the perfect position. There's a window behind these curtains, and I think he's trying to go sit and chill in it, but the curtains are getting in his way.
I like our set a lot. Anyway, here are the names.
Yeah, this is our. Before that, this is our new house we just moved into this year. We moved in literally like on the 1st, and this is like our extra room that I guess is going to be like our video studio room.
Yeah, we have more space. Before recording podcasts in the old house, it was like taking up the entirety of our living room. Now we have like a designated room, which is very nice.
Yeah, we can do actual set design and all that stuff. Again, it sucked because we came into this new house and we have like this new setup and no way to use it. So it was another motivator to do the show. This one, that is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So names.
First of all, our dynamic. We're a couple. We've been together for a long time. I want to keep things like pretty light, just talking about stuff going on. Maybe we could play some games and stuff. Like that's my overall vision, just talking about stuff going on. I don't know, being entertaining, being funny, open to joking around, a little playing around, stuff like that. So, okay, keeping that in mind, this is what I have.
All right.
And, okay, I'll tell you a name and you could tell me your thoughts on it. Oh my God, so much noise. What do you think of Love Brains?
It's okay. I feel like it has more of a romantic connotation to it.
I know. Which,
I mean, we're romantically involved, but I don't feel like romance and like is like the main focus of it.
yeah,
But
I agree. I don't want to
amazing.
make it like too couple content-y. You know what I mean? Like people have couple channels.
Right.
And even though you and I are like affectionate, we're not like overly affectionate. If that
Right.
makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the centerpiece of what we're trying to do here isn't our relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What else you got?
I wrote down For Your Inconvenience. Is that a name of a show already?
Kind of. I think it sounds very familiar.
It does sound familiar. It's not the name of a podcast though. But
It sounds almost like it's like an NPR show.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true. It just sounds like something I would hear on. It
For Your
goes right.
Inconvenience.
Yeah, it goes right along with like Wait, Don't Tell Me and Fresh Air. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
This American Life.
One I put, okay, a lot of these are like variations of other names that I've already listed because there are certain words that I like.
Okay.
So,
Could just be the combination.
in case you feel like you're hearing the same thing over and over again. Okay, another I put was honey brains. But I kind of don't like that one because, again, it's like maybe a little too romantic. And honey kind of sounds like country or something. Like we're a country band.
I feel like you're calling me stupid, like my brain's made of mush.
Honey brains? I think I'm more like sweet.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We're sweet. I don't know. Anyway, so maybe not. I like the brains thing though. I wrote e-brains.
That's probably a startup company in Silicon Valley.
Damn.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
It's an Elon Musk thing.
Yeah, E is for Elon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a play off of like the e-girl thing or something like that. I also wrote Bad Brains.
That's a band name. That's
is?
a highly copyrighted name. That is a very famous band.
I was thinking about that for like a whole day too. Like that sounds really, really
You've
good.
never seen a skater kid with a big lightning bolt on his shirt and it's like Bad Brains.
No.
Okay.
Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. God.
That's okay. You should check them out. They're the one of the best hardcore bands of all time.
Everyone support Bad Brains.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to listen to them later, I promise. Okay. So I also wrote in parentheses something and then people, as in something being like some kind of adjective or verb, people, as like talking about us. I also wrote later underground people.
Underground people. In what way are we underground?
Just like we're not really like famous or anything.
I guess that's true.
So like underground. I've been thinking about the word underground lately as like people used to say it in like an indie way.
Right.
Like I listened to this underground band. You've probably never heard of it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Underground people. I don't know. I feel like that has to be. Have you verified all these if they're taken or not, or that you were just
at least on the podcast side.
They're not taken. Okay. I feel like Underground People is definitely a band name. Let's see.
Damn, I didn't look for like.
I don't know how that works though. Maybe you can have a band name that's the same as a podcast since it's not the same median exactly. Underground people are there humans.
The Underground People Show.
The Underground People Show. So when I typed it in, I got mole people, which are mole people real? I always thought they were like a made up monster.
What's it saying?
Okay, mole people is like a saying for homeless people that live under large cities. Like I know there's like a whole like community of homeless people that live under New York City in old abandoned tunnels. Yeah. I didn't know that they called them mole people though. That seems a little offensive.
Mean.
Oh yeah. They're bringing up Dark Days. That's where I saw. It's like this documentary about all these people that live in abandoned New York subway tunnels. Pretty good movie.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I don't think I'd call them mold people. That's mean. I don't know. Underground people band.
The Plastic People of the Universe, underground music, 20 underground bands you should know in 2020.
There's the People Underground. It looks like, and they have a Facebook page for their music.
That's different.
Yeah, that's true. I think you'd be clear with that one. I just don't know how underground I am. I feel like a poser.
Really?
Underground.
I feel like underground.
I feel like underground. I need to be like in a like shack using like an iPhone to record it.
Really?
I don't know.
I feel like underground though used to be like a cool thing, and now I'm like realizing as my fight to like get attention that like underground is like you have no clout,
Sure.
which isn't good. So it's almost like self-deprecation, the underground thing.
You'd look at it that
as
way,
like how
sure.
I'm seeing it, at least. Underground people, and it's like I don't know. I'm just like a normal person, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. I wrote down cyber sane, which is, as I say it, sounds kind of not right.
Cyber sane. Okay, that sounds like a...
Like you're only as sane as the internet makes you. Which I feel like we're very much talking about stuff on the internet.
It makes me think of the word cyber psychosis, where it's like you have so much technology involved in yourself that you like lose your self-being.
Pretty much.
So it's the opposite of that, is having so much tech on you that you're actually sane because of it?
Or you're only as sane as the technology around you makes you.
Do you think...
Doesn't mean that you're like totally sane.
What makes a piece of technology sane versus insane?
I guess like sane is just like you're only like able to function. You're only that sane.
Okay.
So it's not like the best or it's not the worst. Like if you're cyber sane, you're like very reliant on technology, very reliant on social media.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that you're like actually sane.
So you're almost symbiotically with your technology.
Like you're only that version of sane.
Right. But is it the technology that's making you sane?
Like your sanity is limited by technology.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty true.
That's more of like what I'm trying to say with that.
Okay. Cyber sane. It's an interesting one. I don't know. I feel like it gives off the connotation like that we're like a tech.
Yeah, I'm so not tech. Like if anyone's tech, I think that you're a little tech in my mind. But I don't know how to do any. I peeked at the computer in like the 5th grade.
Right. I don't know. I feel like if we were talking about like new technology coming out constantly, that one would make sense. But I don't know. It's a little far off from I think what we're doing. These are all very serious names to me.
Okay, let's go on. I guess it is.
I don't know. I want something light. It could be the puppy party power hour for all. Something in that vein.
Yeah, it could be something where like no one knows what it means but us.
Yeah, okay. It could be nonsensical, like Hootie and the Blowfish. We're Hootie and the Starfish.
Okay, I think that's taken.
Okay.
What about, I also wrote cyber brains, which is like another variation of stuff I've already said.
Right.
I like something brains. Okay.
Save it for your podcast with Grimes.
Okay. I wrote My Generation. That's also very serious, kind of.
Do you think we could get the rights to the song? I don't know. I feel like Pete, what's the singer, the Who's name? Cranston? No. The Who would sue us.
Okay, moving on. My Generation also is very, I think it's very serious.
Yeah, it's pretty broad and serious. Like if we were like on the street, like interviewing like people that are doing like things, like
having more people involved. Yeah, but we are viewers of what's going on in the generation.
I don't know. I'm pretty old. I feel
You're
like
4 years older than me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my generation, it should be like a couple of Gen Zers doing that show.
Yeah, I guess so. We're millennials.
Yeah, no one gives a
We're
shit
all
about it. We've
millennials.
fallen into the same bucket as Gen X. No one gives a shit about us or remembers us anymore.
I remember me. Okay. I wrote midnight snack.
Like the religion?
No, midnight snack.
I thought you were saying Mennonite snacks. I'm like, oh goodness, that is not a.
I don't want to be religious here.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know enough about being a Mennonite. But yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Midnight snack.
It's not taken.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, then again, I only looked at the podcast side of things. I didn't. Yeah, look.
I don't care about the band thing. Let's see. Oh, podcast is coming up in the search.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I knew that. That's a big one.
It is?
Yeah, Michelle Collins.
Whatever. Okay, moving on. What's next? I wrote neighborhood basement.
We're in Florida. It's a contradiction. You can't have a basement here.
That's true, but like,
We could call it the guest room.
but we don't have any guests.
I know. You only know that if you know that this is technically a guest room.
We don't have to
that
be
we're
like
in.
so Florida though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it looks like we could be in a basement to some degree.
But we're not. I feel
We're
like it's being
not.
disingenuous.
All right, no neighborhood basement. I wrote community garden. I don't know where I'm getting these from. I just
Yeah.
wrote these down.
Are we going to start doing this podcast outside? Like this is
No.
the name of a podcast if like I was giving you tips on vegetable growing.
Okay, next I wrote American Brainiac or American Weirdo.
American Brainiac, definitely not. American Weirdo. I feel like that's a podcast for like one person, like one thing. I don't know. And I feel like that's probably taken, but let's see.
American Brainiac is not necessarily saying that like I'm the smartest. It's more
I
sarcastic.
think it is.
It's more sarcastic.
But are other people going to get that?
Yeah.
What was it? American Weirdo.
You want to look up American Weirdo or Weirdos. Just Us Weirdos.
Yeah, I don't think that one's taken. Then I guess it comes down to how weird are we actually? Is it enough to base a whole show on? I don't know. I feel like I need to come out here with my shirt off.
Like being really weird.
Yeah, like I feel like I need to be like, I don't know.
I don't know. Am I not as weird as I think? Do you
I
think
mean, we're strange. I mean, we do things that are not, that everyone isn't doing, but I'd say that we're not like, I don't think people would walk past us on the street and be like, those are some fucking weirdos.
well, yeah, I can blend in.
Right. I don't know.
But
When
on the
I think of
inside-
that show, I just think of like the dude that's like a street performer that like has had the fucking rough life riding the fucking rails from here to San Francisco every 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I'm nowhere closer to figuring out the name.
that's okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
I think it was entertaining analyzing these names.
Yeah, picking a name is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Naming
I
a
mean,
child is a
man,
big deal.
Man, that midnight snack though, that I think that was in that nice mid range of being light and catchy, but I knew that one had to be taken. It was too good.
What about midnight meal?
All right. I don't know, that lady might sue us.
Whatever.
No, well, if we ever get that
It's not
big.
snack, it's a meal.
That's true.
Midnight entree.
No, but I mean, typing in the name does propagate all of the midnight snack stuff. So then you got to start thinking about how do you break through on like Google or an algorithm. If people start searching the podcast as midnight meal, it's always gonna like she's gonna pop up rather than us because it's
Michelle.
yeah, because it's the bigger podcast. That's just anytime I'm like thinking of naming something, I'm like, is this close to something? Because if it's close to something, you're just gonna get like buried in search.
God. Okay. I
Like going back to that machinist band, like unless I had to like be very specific about everything I write. Otherwise, if I type in machinist on YouTube, like they're not going to be anywhere near the first like page. It's like everything else.
Bummer.
I don't know. So you just kind of you have to think about the name in terms of like when people look it up. How easy, how accessible is it? Again, it could be nonsensical just for the reasoning that it's not going to be taken and it's probably not.
Nonsensical, as in it makes no sense. to
Yeah,
other
like
people.
like Hootie and the Blowfish or like Toad the Wet Sprocket, like those kind of like things.
Yeah. Maybe I got to think more of that, like that.
I don't know. And if it's more the light vibe, I think. But we'll I don't know. We'll come up with something before this is posted. I guess we have to.
Yeah.
Sink or
We
swim.
got a lot of work to do here. It's hard work.
I still have to come up with an intro theme.
Yeah. I'll sing on it,
Okay.
but I'm going to freestyle. Not freestyle rap.
I don't know if this is coming through on the recording, but we live in Pensacola, Florida, which is home of the Blue Angels, and we essentially live in their practice space. So every week on Tuesday and Wednesday, I constantly just hear jets going off.
Yeah. Hasn't really been bothering me today.
I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. It's just interesting. Like, I think it gives me a clear for playing music loud because if anyone ever wants to complain, I'd be like, "Those fucking jets going off all day. I'm just as loud as them."
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You've accepted to retire in a place where people practice loopy loop tricks in the sky, so you should accept that someone's going to play some loud music.
Yeah.
But
for
I haven't
sure.
had any problems with that in this neighborhood yet.
Yeah, I don't
Fingers
think we
crossed.
will. I think we'll be good as far as that. Everyone seems like somewhat chill.
Yeah, they're chill, but we do live in a neighborhood of retirees.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them smoke weed.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I am seeing some Trump flags.
there's definitely.
Even post-election.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna. If they take down the Trump flag, all they're gonna do is put up the F Biden flag.
Ridiculous. What else is going on in the world right now? Let's talk about the Buffy stuff. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff.
Right, Josh Wheaton. He apparently things were so bad on it was either the Buffy set or the Charmed set that like this one actress, what's her name?
She is the one that played the friend's little sister.
Right.
Willow's sister.
Yeah, Josh Wheaton.
And she was like 15, I think, whenever she was on the show.
Yeah,
Like she
okay.
played 15 and she actually was 15. She was young.
Right, and apparently he wasn't allowed to be in a room with her alone. Like
That's
after
what it was?
after an incident happened initially. Apparently things.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like sexual?
I have no idea. I haven't looked quite that deep into it, but I imagine it's pretty. I mean, if you're literally the director of the show and you're not allowed to be alone with this person, it's not a good sign.
I know.
But it sucks
Dear
because
God.
I love all the stuff he's done. I love the Wheaton verse. You know, I was a big fan of Firefly growing up. Did you ever watch that show?
I've heard of it. I didn't get into it too much.
Yeah,
So
it's
he
like-
did that. He did Buffy. He did Charm, too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and yeah, all those like they're all like I think in the same shared universe too.
Oh, very cool. I guess they did did he do Angel, too? The spinoff of
Yeah,
Buffy?
yeah. Anything that was a spinoff, I think it's like in his like universe. Yeah, Buffy,
What's
Angel.
he look like?
I don't know. He's like redhead, balding, not attractive guy, but
Ugly and toxic. Oh my God. The audacity of these directors. I swear to God, you give someone a little bit of power and they just like can't be left alone in a room with a 15-year-old. Like, what is going on? That's insane.
yeah,
If this guy wasn't famous, he would just be like, I don't know, doing nothing.
yeah. But again, he's a good director and he came up with some good shows. Again, that's why it's a big old bummer.
Yeah, that sucks.
But you know, I guess that's how it goes.
Is he still doing stuff? Is he like an active director? Or is he more of just
he
like-
he mostly writes. He writes a lot of the Marvel movies.
Oh.
And he's wrote on Avengers, Justice League, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is like the Marvel TV show that was on for a little while. Yeah, he's I don't know. That's like his shtick, is like the comic book and like fantasy kind of realm thing and horror. Again, he's a good writer, so it's unfortunate, but I mean, I guess it's good that it's coming out now.
Yeah. If anything, I think it's an important lesson to just like remind people with any kind of power to stay grounded. Like he thought that was okay, probably because of like who he was.
I guess he was mean to Charisma Carpenter and called her fat while she was pregnant.
Oh my God.
And joked about firing her. I don't know. Yeah, another one bites the dust.
Jeez Louise. Do you think he's going to get fired?
I mean, I think all he's really been doing is just writing on stuff. So, yeah, I mean, he'll probably lose the writing gigs he had lined up.
Yeah. People are getting in trouble.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I think it's just like God complexes gone horribly too far. And that's when I don't like it. I don't know. There's people that are problematic that I see and I'm like, I feel bad for them on a certain level and I'm like, let's just get them help. But then I think once it's like a situation where like someone of large power is taking advantage of people, that's when I'm like, get them out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal line though. Everyone's is different.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it power or is it the person that makes them that way?
I mean, it's the person that's in power, I guess.
I mean, you can be talented and be a piece of shit. I find a lot of talented people are.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely, but I think the added like power of it too, like it's like, what are you going to do with this? It's like someone that like finds a lot of money on the ground. Are you going to keep it or are you going to like turn it in? You have that power and are you going to do the right thing? It's like, are you going to do the right thing given this situation? Are you going to take advantage of the situation? Or are you going to do the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to like exploit these people or are you going to, treat them like humans? You know what I mean? I think that just adds another layer of it.
But money.
Yeah, but like
money. That man made money.
I know, but like he doesn't get richer from like treating people like shit.
Apparently he does. Apparently he kept getting hired. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day it just comes down to putting profits above anything else. Because you could find any like director, writer that's not going to be a piece of shit. There's a bazillion young men and women that are chomping at the bits to be in his position, but he made them money. He got over that initial hump, and they're like, well, we know he made us money. I don't know about all these other kids. Yeah. So it's like you keep propping up people, even it's like, oh yeah, he's like touchy with these girls, but he made us money.
And he's using that too, though. Like, oh, I'm making them money, so I could act this way. Like, no,
exactly.
You can't. That's not a thing anymore. This year or in this like day and age, like I'm kind of glad that we're like teaching that is not okay. Part of me is. I think some of it goes too far, of course. Like I think people should have redemption. I think that everyone should have the redemption moment, but at the same time, like people like that got away with it and thinking that they could keep doing it or that it's okay or that they like had the right to get away with stuff or because they're who they are that they could do certain things. That's just so icky.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if you have like, I don't know. That's just like playing God to me. I just don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it used to be almost like a trope that once you become like a big director or a Hollywood like insider, you can treat and do whatever you want to
disgusting.
People. It's funny because like I think a lot of like the men that are like in it or have been in it for years, like when they were like in their 20s and they were like, I want to get into film and stuff. Do you think that they were like did it for the passion or they did it for the money, or because they knew that they could eventually like abuse people the same way that probably the people they worked for were abusing people.
I mean, I think it'd be so fucking weird if they were like, I'm going to do this just so I could abuse
Just so
people.
eventually I can like be alone with actresses
I
and
don't think that-
rooms,
yeah.
and I can decide their entire career.
I don't think that that's the initial intention, but I think people become jaded and they forget like who the fuck they are.
Yeah. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, all of it, I mean, every piece of like readily consumable art, at least like on a major scale, you can lead back to like a boardroom, like a group of people that are just making money, and like it's all about the bottom line. Even if people are making art and movies and music and stuff, at the end of all of those lines is like a boardroom full of people that are making decisions. And it doesn't matter like what that person did. They'll do anything to protect them as long as they're making them money.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. It's
I mean,
also the people
look
that
at
let it
how
happen.
look at how long R. Kelly like toured. Like in 2004,
yeah.
Dave Chappelle was making jokes and skits about R. Kelly like being abusive, and like we just let it go for like another like 15 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it was already readily available back then, who knows how long he was abusing? But you know what else he was doing? He was making a lot of money.
Yeah. Everyone around him. Yeah, everyone around these people that are just like letting them think it's okay. That's true.
Recently, if you were making someone higher up money, I don't think people gave two shits what you did.
That sucks.
It does suck, but I mean, I guess obviously things are changing because, like I said, Josh Whedon was writing like the highest grossing movies of all time, you know, Avengers and shit. So obviously, if they're going to get rid of him now, then it shows that things have changed.
Yeah, that's true. I at least feel like even though people made a lot of mistakes then, though, and people supported bad people for bad intentions for like money and stuff and putting money above like people's actual well-being, I hope that we can learn from that. And I mean, I don't know. I hate that this is coming from fear, but just like don't like, just don't be icky. I think people now are like scared to like get canceled and stuff like that, but it shouldn't even be about that. It should just be like, just be a good person.
Right.
Know?
Again, that's easier said than done.
I know. But geez. And I wonder if it's like still happening in certain situations and people just don't talk about it.
Absolutely.
So like what else? Things are always going to be coming out. I don't think there's ever going to be like it's never going to be like a rated G behind the scenes, I guess.
Look, people in positions of power are always going to take advantage of people.
That's
not
true.
in, but there's more accountability now. People have more of a voice. Before, like 20 years ago, like you couldn't like tweet something and it go like viral. Like you would literally have to go to a paper, have someone like write the article about what you're talking about, and then have that get circulated and have enough people believe it, yada, yada.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson also got in a lot of trouble recently.
Yeah.
He got fired from stuff because people are coming out with allegations against him as well. Evan Rachel Wood, especially, who is like an activist, who has always talked about him but not said his name. And then she just recently was just like, this is the person who is like my main abuser of my life.
Right. And again, that's another person that there's like lots of history of like shitty stuff going on, like tons of like insider people tell you. I mean, it's just like in like a Weinstein situation. Like Marilyn Manson makes people money, so like they're gonna protect him.
I was reading about that whole thing, and he did this interview in 2009. He's like engaged to her, and he was doing this interview talking about her and said that he dreams of smashing her head with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What? And like everyone's like, oh, that's so Marilyn.
Well, okay.
And she's like, actually, he abused me.
There's one thing like being like a shock rocker and having like this like gory, like shocking persona. That's fine. It's just like when like fantasy and like performance becomes reality, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like you look at like Alice Cooper, like is like the most happy-go-lucky guy, but he like chops off heads and stuff on stage. I don't
What
know,
kind of
it's
heads?
like like fake head. Like he's the
Fake
he's like
heads,
the
right.
original like shock rocker, like someone that is just trying to get a rise out of people by doing these like over-the-top performances. Like
Yeah.
if while he was in his Alice Cooper character and he's like, I want to smash my wife's head in, I wouldn't like think nothing of, as much of it.
Some things need to stay a character, though. I think Marilyn was very getting into like, oh, if I'm going to talk about it, I need to be about it, which can be kind of dangerous. I know
Yeah,
some
sure.
people see that and like their music that way, but like sometimes it can be dangerous. That's not really that cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I
on the
don't
flip
know.
side of that, I mean, you look at Rob Zombie. He seems like a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. Been in a committed relationship, puts his wife
Yeah.
and everything. But he also still has like holds his like spooky B movie persona thing, but
Yeah.
isn't an abuser. So there's the flip side of that. You don't have to like you can be genuine and also not be a piece of shit just because like your
Yes.
persona like revolves around like something like gore or like B movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like now a lot of these people are coming out that they were super uncomfortable and like didn't give consent and stuff like that. Which, okay, it's not a major L for me to like lose Marilyn at all. I don't know. I wasn't that much into his music. I saw this girl like sometime last year, like went to one of his shows and like posted on her story, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I kind of like saw him as more of like a style icon than in like an actual like
I mean, he's been more of an
rock
actor
star.
than
Oh,
a
yeah, and he's more
musician
acting.
in
Okay.
late years. But yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of his growing up, but again, I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah,
Because throughout the like as much as I enjoyed his music growing up, like I always heard like stuff that like he was like shitty and like wasn't like I mean like Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, he has like shitty stories about him, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people.
yeah. Not a major L though. I don't know. In my head, he's like not the most relevant, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So bye. It's not a big deal.
My stepdad loves him. I'm sure he's upset.
Does he
about it.
really?
Yeah, he was super obsessed with Marilyn Manson for a while.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be fine.
No, I mean my stepdad will be fine
yeah.
with him being canceled.
Your stepdad will be fine. That conservative man died, and everyone was like really happy about it.
Oh yeah, Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
He is dead now. Feel about the same as I did when Fred Phelps died.
Who is that again?
He is the Westboro Baptist guy.
Oh yeah.
And he died like 2014. Yeah, again, you live the life you live. People are gonna like celebrate your death. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Except my ex-boyfriend posted a picture of him and said R.I.P. the goat. He was the only one. So embarrassing.
And I don't know. I feel like his whole audience and his whole career was just feeding on people's like, in some ways, like worse instincts and like, I don't know.
So horrible.
I mean, he's pretty much like a lot of the way Trump was. He like would say things that are offensive because he knows that there is an audience that's willing to pay money to like hear someone say something shitty because no one else is.
But you gotta believe that too if you're gonna like.
Oh
say
yeah, he
that.
absolutely believes it. But he again, it all comes down to money. Like, do you think I don't know if he would have been so like just saying as much like garbage, stupid stuff if he didn't know that all these people out here are just like chomping at the bit to like hear him say these terrible things. I'm sure. I mean, the sheer fact that he's like profiting off of it makes him a piece of shit.
Yeah. I think it's just like it may have been a smaller fire if he didn't get as much attention. It's just fuel to a fire. Like maybe in a different universe where he wasn't well known, he'd just be like your crazy fucking grandpa that just won't shut the fuck up about these really meanly conservative things. I'm not saying every conservative is like evil because I don't believe that, but like There are definitely some evil conservative people out there, like this guy who like had a radio show where he would like ring bells of celebration when someone that had AIDS died.
It was like he had like a segment for a while where he like would read the names of people that had died in the AIDS pandemic.
Dear God, how the fuck does that help anybody? That's just hurtful.
Yeah, I don't know. He came to power when Bill Clinton was in presidency. Like he like in the 90s, like he filled this void because like things were shifting pretty left back then. And I don't know. He filled the same void that Trump tried to when he won the election. It's just like these people that I don't know. That again, like their worst instincts is like what they feed on. Again, it comes down to making money, I guess.
Yeah. Well, damn. I mean, sorry that someone's relative died, but I'm glad. I mean, was he still doing content in his?
Yeah. His show was. I mean, he had cancer, so I think he was probably taking time off periodically to deal with that. But I mean, his show was still. I mean, he's as far as like 2 months ago, he was like talking about how the Dominion voting machines are like rigged and how they were like printing ballots for Biden.
Oh my God. And I feel like, especially if he lived to be like 70 years old, he's like somewhat becoming like old person brain, like kind of senile, I would assume.
I mean, I don't want to throw. I think old people can be pretty intelligent late into life. I don't want to throw that in. I just think he's a piece of shit that wanted money, and he found a market that he could exploit, which he did very well. He made himself a lot of money.
Yeah, but he's
on the backs
already
of,
a little crazy. So I just assume maybe he got crazier, and I don't know. Well, I'm glad that show's over.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, someone else will fill the void.
Yeah, that's true. Man. Well, I mean, I really didn't know like anything about him until he died, and everyone was like so happy that this guy died, and I was just like, who is this guy? Because I don't really like open the door for that as much, I guess, unless they're like so big in my face. Like, I don't know.
I found out about him during the Bush years because he became very big because, again, everyone started leaning more conservative in those years post 9/11. I think like some of his like shitty homophobic and racist rhetoric like was starting to hit for people that like, especially like during like the like Iraq, the beginning of like the Iraq war in Afghanistan, like he was pretty heavy hard on Muslims and stuff. So again, it's all, I think that's like where I first found out about him. But he's always been more or less a mouthpiece for like the conservative party.
Yeah. Well, I guess good riddance, but fearful for the man or woman who takes his place.
Yeah.
Watch out for that one. It's scary when like young people have his mindset.
Yeah, I mean, there's people
scary.
used to say that like all of like these ideas would die off in a generation. Racism would die because all the old racist people would die. But now, like, that
That's
stuff
not happening.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, they just make more people that have those ideas.
Yeah, that's true. It's very scary. Well, on this show, we don't do anything like that. We're not going to. I mean, I guess we were like, not sad about that guy dying, but I'm not going to like ring a bell because he died.
Right.
We'll give you that. What's his name?
Rush Limbaugh.
We'll give you that, Rush.
Yeah, I imagine his grave's going to become a pretty popular place whenever they bury him.
Eek. I'm not even going to give you the time of day to be doing that. I don't give a damn about you or anything that you stand for, okay?
Yeah, sure.
We're spreading love on this show. Well, I guess we are talking about people, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't say love. We're having fun.
Yeah, we're just having a good, grand time. Me and my honey, never call him that, just doing our show and our new podcast that we are very excited about. And our cat Iggy, who's going to be making a lot of noise in the background and showing up on camera every so often. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell how this went because I never know until like way later. But if you like this, then you should reach out to us and let us know because we're not going to know any other way. We can't read your mind or anything. And you could tell us like if this is something you're into, something you'd want to listen to every week, maybe some other topics we could bring up that you could suggest to us. I am very open to hearing an audience take. We love our audience and we love our fans. Do you have anything else to say?
No, thank you. Yeah, if you liked it, maybe we'll do another one. Whatever this is, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we don't really know. I mean, this was almost like a business meeting of like, what are we?
Right.
Javan, what are we?
Nothing good.
No, we're good. I think I'm a good person. I wouldn't say that I'm perfect or like a role model, but I think I'm a good person.
Sure.
I think you're a good person too. I would defend your honor.
Oh,
if anyone try to talk down on your name, I would defend your honor for sure, 100%.
I appreciate that. I'd do the same for you. But I don't know what negative things anyone would ever say about you.
So sweet of you to say. Anyway, hopefully we will see you next week or maybe the next week or just not too long away from this day. Goodbye.
Bye.